All right, let's talk about a feeling that honestly is just so common. It's this sense that you're working harder than you ever have before. But when you look at your finances, nothing's really changing. You feel completely stalled.
So, I have to ask you, do you ever feel like you're just running as hard as you can, but financially you're not getting anywhere? Man, it's such a frustrating place to be, isn't it? You're putting in all the hours, you're doing everything you think you're supposed to do, but that feeling of actually, getting ahead, it just seems completely out of reach.
And wow, this quote it absolutely nails it. It doesn't feel like laziness. It feels like effort without progress. See, this isn't about you being lazy, not at all. It's about pouring every ounce of your energy into something and seeing zero forward motion. It is literally the definition of running in place.
So let's actually put a name to this feeling, this experience. The source material we're looking at today calls it the financial treadmill.
And here's what that loop looks like, right? The paycheck hits your account and it's like a starting gun, just goes off. Whoosh! The money flows right back out to cover rent, the car payment, all the bills. You maybe get, a day or two to breathe, and then the whole cycle just resets for the next month. Does that sound at all familiar?
But here's a really important point. This feeling, it isn't just you having bad luck, and it's definitely not some kind of personal failure. It's actually a systemic pattern, a kind of invisible trap that is surprisingly easy to fall right into. And this trap, well, it's set by these two completely conflicting messages we get our entire lives. On one side, you have what we're taught. Work hard, get a good job, be responsible, pay your bills. But on the other side, the world around us is just screaming, easy credit, one-click buys, instant upgrades. It's like we're being pulled in two totally different directions, with a financial map that has no clear path forward.
And that leads us to the heart of it, the silent financial trap. It's described as a maze, where every path that looks like an exit just leads you deeper inside. It's designed to make you feel stuck no matter what your income is. You get a raise, which feels like an exit, right? But then you just end up deeper in the maze, with even bigger expenses and more pressure.
Okay, so how does this trap actually work in our day-to-day lives? Let's break down the mechanics of it.
Well, the engine that powers this whole treadmill is something called lifestyle inflation. And it's a totally natural process. It happens to almost everyone. It goes like this. Your income grows, so your lifestyle grows right along with it. A nicer car, a bigger apartment, a few more subscriptions. It feels good. But pretty soon, that higher earning is just going towards higher obligations. And that's the key. Your work stops being a way to build your future, and it just becomes a machine to maintain your past.
I love this metaphor from the source material. It is like pouring water into a container that never fills. Just picture that for a second. You keep pouring in your effort, your income, your time, but it feels like there's a leak somewhere. The water level just never rises. You're not actually accumulating anything.
And this whole cycle is reinforced by these quiet habits that seem totally harmless on the surface. Using a credit card just to get you through to the next paycheck. Ignoring those small, recurring expenses, that subscription you forgot about. Telling yourself, oh, I'll get organized when I start making more money, or assuming that investing is just for rich people. These things feel so normal, but they are the very bars of the trap.
Okay, but here is the good news. This is where things can start to turn around. There is a way out, and it doesn't start with earning more money. It starts with a really fundamental shift in how you think about money.
And this is the fundamental shift, right here. Before the shift, money feels like a tool for one thing: obligations. It's just for paying bills. It feels like a burden. But after the shift, you start to see money as a tool for creating options, freedom, security, the ability to make real choices about your life. It's a totally different perspective.
And the result of that one little shift in thinking is so powerful. That feeling of constant low-level anxiety, it starts to turn into a feeling of control. You're in the driver's seat now. You go from just trying to survive the month to actually planning for your future.
So here's the big takeaway from all this. The trap isn't really about having a low income. It's about a lack of direction. It's not about how much money comes in. It's about not having a clear, intentional plan for that money once it gets to you.
Okay, so we're not going to stay stuck, right? Let's talk about how we can start designing our own exit from this trap.
Here are the first steps to freedom. Step 1. You just have to see the trap for what it is. Seriously, just recognizing the pattern in your own life is a massive first victory. Step 2. Give every single dollar a purpose. This is huge. It means you decide where your money goes instead of just reacting. Step 3 is about spending intentionally, not automatically. And finally, step 4, which is maybe the most important. You have to reserve a portion of your money for building your future, even if it's small. You start setting something aside, just for you, just for building.
So in the end, it really all boils down to this one powerful question. Your money. It's just a tool. Think of it like a hammer. Right now, maybe that tool is just being used to maintain the past, to keep the treadmill going. But you have the power to pick up that tool and decide what you want to build. So the real question, the one I want to leave you with, is what are you choosing to build?